Peace! Races. Reversed grids. One champion.
And so passionate, every word I move so descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast. I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past and the pettiness. A reflection of the emptiness, hilarious. You think you're worth my time, you're delirious, mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains at last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through hell, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
Hello everybody and welcome to Dynamic GT League's Track Limits Championship for Race 6 from Spa-Francorchamps. Let's not waste any time, let's hand straight over to them common potatoes. So here we go then from circuit to Spa-Francorchamps. Joining me in the commentary box is Gerald. How are you, Gerald?
I'm not too bad. How's yourself?
I'm not too bad. Demon R, pole position here at Spa. But do you want to be on the pole? Steve F1 in second place, SGP in third, and Jason in fourth.
And then fifth place Art Pal with SRI sixth place. And then we've got Mr. Harp in seventh place, followed by Formula Gary in ninth.
That was 7th and 9th, interesting. Then we've got Jimmy, Hey, and Twilight right at the back because he unfortunately pressed the red X in qualifying, so didn't get to set a lap time. Drops down to the back of the grid, and here we go for the race. Race 6 of 9. We wait for the lights. 1 light, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and away they go here at Spa, and it's a good start from Demon. Oh,
I forgot what one I was looking for.
Someone, yeah. I think it might have been Hey. Okay, I mentioned on the sort of preamble there about maybe not wanting to be on pole position, because normally if you're on pole position here at Spa, Ray, you get overtaken down the Kemmel Straight. And let's see if that's going to happen to Demon R on this occasion.
He's got quite a wee bit of a gap, as we see Art Pal and Gary side by side.
Oh, and
Dave the Hart.
it's Brave Arpal getting rid of a penalty already. We've only just started.
Yeah, he must had to be off at La Rouge.
Eau Rouge, yeah. Demon Art, as you said, did have a bit of a look, he's still got a gap to Steve F1 or Davey Arp and Formula Gary, still side by side as they head towards No Name. Tricky left-hander. A few of the drivers are going to have to watch out for the bollards as well. Well, all the drivers will. But if we do happen to see a car flying up in the air, then either it's a new Back to the Future car, or they've hit a bollard as Arpal trying to get up alongside Gary now through P1 and does get up alongside Gary.
Yeah. He's got through. I think he's got through.
Yeah, he has. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Gary stayed ahead. Okay, so it looks like everybody. Yeah.
Yep. It's the two bloody yellow arses.
So Demon Art still got a bit of a lead. Steve F1 not got much of a gap over SGP. There's a bit of a gap.
Oh, Jimmy's off track. Ooh.
Where did you come from? Where did you go? Off track. All through Blanchimont. Not flat out in these cars, as Hayes just found out. I'm surprised actually Twilight's still right at the back. Maybe he's just looking after his tyres on these opening laps. As Jimmy having a look at the inside of Gary, can't quite get it done. We should quickly mention, Ray, about the tyres. Once again, 2 compounds available, Racing Super Softs, Racing Softs. I believe the Super Softs could do a 1-stop, but the tyres will be 4, 5 or maybe even 6 seconds a lap slower in those latter 18, 19 and 20 minute marks.
Yeah, I think you want to. Most you want to do is about 8 laps on his super softs. That's the most I could do, but the 8th lap was a killer. It was CSGP. Is he going for a move on Stephen?
No, because that's on the pack cam. Dave the Arp sort of fending off the tag teamers behind him as Hayes getting rid of a penalty in the background. Arpal and Formula Gary still side by side. Dave would like that. No, they're not anymore. I was going to say Dave would like that because then he can go a little bit quicker. So yeah, it looks like SGP is just sort of biding his time behind Steve F1 at the moment. That would suggest, I mean, let's put it this way. If a driver's not going for an overtake when they could at the end of the Kemmel straight rate, it would suggest they're looking after their tyres, wouldn't it?
Yeah, the one of slam up and so
I thought you were going to say something very different then.
Oh, who's that? Gary's away. Caravan.
Yeah, might get a penalty for that. Something the drivers will have to be careful of. I'll tell you on the pack cam, we can see just there, Demon R is opening up that gap even more. And we talked a little bit last week about looking at how the drivers are driving, what sort of style they're driving. If Demon R is pulling away at the moment, that would suggest he's pushing perhaps a little bit more than Steve F1 and SGP, who are opening up a gap to Jason, who's got SRI sort of biding his time behind him. It's getting very, very close here between the two Steves.
But these are Steve friends, so they just help each
other. Oh, SGP in the pits. Oh, so's SRI. And so's Twilight. Well, very early. It's the end of lap 2. I mean, I was expecting if someone's going to do a 3-stop pit at the end of lap 10. No.
They can't do lap 10 if it's only 8 laps of tyres.
Sorry, I meant 10 minutes. I was getting confused because I was thinking that's Twilight, and so Twilight didn't pit. My apologies. Twilight looking at making a move on Gary, thinks better of it into Eau Rouge, which is a wise thing to do. Gary's all out of shape.
Still kept it there.
He's going to get a penalty.
I don't think he does.
Well, Twilight may be able to attack down at the end of this straight.
Oh, yes, he's giving a penalty.
That he is.
I don't think he went that that far over with the camera. It might have been the camera angle.
It could have been.
Blame it on the camera angle, okay?
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, some information for you, Ray, as we see SRI, he's come out of the pit, Stephen Hart, opening up the gap again to Steve F1. I got a horse today, and I called him Mayo. Sometimes mayonnaise.
Whose horse is that?
Mine. It's my horse.
Oh, you see this guy? See this guy? Number one bullshit guy.
You bastard. I had a feeling.
I was wondering how long it would take you to do a joke. I was sitting on that.
You bastard. Now, while that was happening, we did see SRI going off big time at the end of the Kemmel Straight, so he's come out of the pits with cold tyres. Steve F1 now has not got SGP behind him, which may allow Steve F1 to close in on Demon R a little bit. Jason is, I think we're in a very weird phase of the race, Ray, where I wasn't expecting anybody to be pitting this early, and I've no idea what strategy those pitters will be on.
Yeah, it's a weird one. I just heard in the ear that SRI get a 4.5 second penalty.
Oh, we got more pitters. Steve F1 in the pits, Jason in the pits, Dave the Arp in the pits, Twilight in the pits. Holy cow. I wonder if they're all reacting to SGP and SRI pitting the lap before, because this is still, I would think this is too early to pit. I know I sort of hinted earlier that the super soft tyre might be able to do a one stop, but really it's not on. The lap times are too slow. I would have thought a two-stop would be the way to go, but pitting this early, they've got to be looking at doing a three-stop at least.
Well, do you think it's because it's kind of bunched up that try and get the undercuts and whatnot? Once they realise they're losing time on the undercut, they're reacting to it.
Maybe all hate sideways. Well, unusually, other than Hay going sideways there, we've got no action going on in a DGT race because people have pitted. Looking at Jimmy's tyre wear, looking not very healthy. So SGP, who was the first of the pitters, and actually his tyre wear is looking absolutely fine, but then he has only been on these tyres for, 4 minutes? I can only think that it must have been a oh, Jimmy! Oh. SGP safely through. Is he safe going into Puon? He is for the moment. So I can only think for SGP it was strategy. Pitting when he did. Maybe he's got a specific sort of target that he wants to do on the next few stints. We'll have to see how he gets on. I mean, we do know, Ray, that the pit lane loss time here is quite a lot. It's about 28 to 30 seconds you lose by making a pit stop. As SGP up the inside of Hay on the exit of the corner. And one thing that we would call
on the inside of Jimmy there.
Oh yeah, in the background. He's managed to get rid of 6/10 of his penalty. Go on.
This might have brought SRI closer to SGP because I think it was a bit further ahead before the pit stop.
I think you're absolutely right. Jimmy's gone wide. Also, with these guys being on freshish tyres compared to those around them now who have not pitted yet, the lap times will be dramatically different for SGP and SRI's. Hey, in to the pits. Jimmy's big sideways in the background. So SGP now back up to 4th place. I don't know how far away from Demon R he is at the moment. Steve F1 is just there, and there's Jason. So Jason's caught up a lot. Oh, Jimmy's lost it on the exit of the first corner. Jason's caught up a lot to Steve F1, a bit like SRI is caught up a lot to SGP.
SGP's about the Camel Straight away from Demon R.
Yeah, he is. I'm not sure exactly how long that is in time, but Demon R hasn't reacted to all of these guys pitting so far, which probably means that when Demon R pits, he may be coming out in quite a bit of traffic to what we're looking at. So SGP's tyres are a little more worn now than they were 2 minutes ago. and Steve F1 has really closed that gap on on SRI. As Formula Gary now coming under pressure in No Name from SGP.
Yeah. I expect them to get the tighter line and able to get pass through here and go.
Absolutely. Just like that, you mean?
Yep.
Yep. I just sort of groaned a moment ago.
I
So,
I read it like a book there.
ah, well.
Is SRI going to get past Formula Gary through these turns? And look at that, we've got Jason on the back. Jason was in front of SRI before the pit stop, so SRI has jumped Jason, but he will have a wee bit more tyre wear.
Oh, Gary.
Oh, Gary's went off, and that's helped SRI. He's lived another day.
It's helped Jason as well. Gary's tyres definitely struggling. I mean, Demonar and Art Power have not pitted yet. They're first and second. I think we're going to be seeing them pitting now, as well as Formula Gary as SRI and Steve F1 now side by side. Steve F1 up the inside. Can SRI stay on the track? He can. Lovely stuff. Dave the Arp's now getting in on this as well. Excuse me. So, there's the gassy bit. Apologies. A few moments ago, I sort of moaned and groaned a bit, but that's because I saw Dave doing a bit of a late move on Jimmy, but it was simply because of the better tyres that Dave was on at that point into No Name, and that has now allowed Dave to really close in. This is what these guys are basically, they're using the boost to help themselves, aren't they? That's what's happened with these early pit stops.
Yeah, and you can see Jason, Demonar, not Demonar, Dave the Heart, but Gary. Gary's still holding in there. I don't know if Gary's pitted yet.
No, he hasn't. I'm wondering if he wants to make sure he gets to that 13-minute mark to try and go for the two-stop strategy. Demonar and Artpow also didn't pit, so they still haven't reacted. Dave the Art trying to go around the outside. Gary, thought about having a look at the inside, and Jason holds on. But yeah, what a battle we got going on here. So SGP is only a little bit ahead of Steve F1 now, but SGP closing in on Art Pal. So yeah, doing quite well at the moment.
Yeah, and here it goes. Is it going to go round the outside here?
Oh, that he is.
I don't know what corner it was, but yeah, he went round the outside there.
It was No Name.
No Name.
Yeah, you don't normally go around the outside of No Name, but that's obviously a sign that Art Pal's tyres are a lot more worn than SGP's are at the moment. Don't forget, SGP has pitted, Art Pal has not. So SGP up to second place. Jason having a look up the inside of SRI. Can't do anything about it. But this is where, for Jason and Dave, they are going to be aware that they haven't really got a tyre advantage over the two cars in front of them, have they?
No. Well, they'll have a lap on SRI.
Yeah.
Just be Steve F1, who pitted at the same time, if I remember right.
Steve F1 pitted at the same time as Jason. I think Steve F1 going around the outside of Blanchimont. Ooh, just holds on. Jason can't. Demonar is into the pits. So we can see that Art Pal's obviously dropping places. I reckon we'll see him in the pits now. He's done well to do the 13 minutes. Go on.
There it goes, it peels up. And Jason? Is that Jason?
Yes. Oh.
See, that just came out of the pits.
Yeah, not long ago. Okay, Dave the Arp having a look up the inside of SRI, nothing doing there. But we've said before, haven't we? Do you really want to overtake into turn one here at Spa? Or do you want to get the slipstream all the way through Eau Rouge and down the Camel Straight? It's the better place to try and make the move unless you're desperate. So Dave the Arp right behind SRI. And yeah, I mean, he may be too close for the slipstream rate. That's something you usually like to mention.
Yeah, he is gaining a little. SRI's quite defensive, so he can take that inside line as they go side by side.
Yeah, side by side. SRI serving that penalty. Dave got a little wobbly on the curb. Oh, he got very wobbly on the curb. SRI getting rid of a bit more of his penalty. Now Dave trying to have a look at the inside. It's so easily done on that left-hand curb. They're still side by side with SRI ghosting. I mean, here's a question for you, Ray. I mean, would it not be a good idea if you got a penalty to... Oh, he's still trying to fight it on the inside. Can't quite do it. Yeah, I mean, would it be a good idea to try and get rid of it all in one go like we saw Twilight do last week?
Well, what was Twilight's penalty length compared to SRI's?
Well, about a second.
So give what another 3.5 seconds to add on there. To me, I don't know. Well, he's getting it down. He's at 2.3 now.
Yeah.
So he is getting it down. He's still pushing.
Well, I suppose the risk is that if he goes off again, he could end up getting a bigger penalty because he's not got rid of this one quick enough. Okay, Demon R is closing in on Formula Gary. Did Gary not pit? I don't think he pitted. It's brave. Maybe he thinks he can go a lot longer, but well, looks at that, maybe not, because he's just been breezed by on the exit of Stavolo. So Demon R through, and Dave the Harp still ahead of SRI. SRI still serving that penalty. I mean, I suppose in a way it's should be quite handy for Dave the Harp, because he should be able to see, right, SRI is serving his penalties. It appears in the braking zones, so Dave can focus on the corners ahead of him rather than his mirrors as Gary does pit.
Yeah. You see that gap opening up. Dave making a slide on the exit of turn 1. So it's going to give SRI the opportunity on the camera straight.
It could do. I think SRI is a better distance away for the slipstream here. I think he'll get a much better, well, not necessarily run, but if he gets a good exit, which he has, now we'll get a much better effect from the slipstream, I reckon. He might be able to get up to about 165, maybe even higher. Dave's doing 161, so SRI's closing. Dave the Arp defending quite nicely, middle of the road, nothing wrong with that. Holds on to the position. These two are going to have to be careful though, because there's a red and white car starting to catch these guys up, and my fear for the leading four now, Ray, is that they all pitted after 4 and 6 minutes, which is over 10 minutes ago, so I think they're going to be pitting again very, very soon.
Was it 2 minutes or that? So if they're taking it to 8 laps, what's that, 16-minute mark?
Yeah, it'd be about that. But
Depends if they're doing it. Is SRI on the inside of Dave the Hull?
Yeah, I wonder if SRI's got slightly better tyres at the moment. Side by side they go. I think Dave's front end might be struggling a little bit, like my words are. SRI still, and there we go, Demon R closed in, nowhere for him to go at the moment as these go headed to Stavolo 1. You can just tell they haven't quite got the grip, have they, compared to Demon R. Demon R having a look, switch back, cheeky. Oh, is it a double switch back? Cheeky.
Oh, he's on the inside of Dave the Harp, but SRI's trying to follow him through.
That he is. I mean, this is a corner where the tyre wear will show. Oh, they've done well to get through there. I mean, Demon R would have been able to be confident. It's Dave the Arp having a look up the inside, wiggling in the braking. Can he get it slowed down? Yes, he can. But he's going for the pit. So's SRI. Oh, interesting. And so's Hay. Oh, I think Dave was in the pit entry. I think he's had an issue. Twilight's had an issue. He's gone wide.
Yeah, Dave the Harp, it was a long time getting into the pits. SRI was in the pits before him.
Yeah, well, you know what? We have seen before people struggling with the pit entry here at Spa, as Steve F1 is now closing in on SGP. SGP has been on these tyres since about the, 4.5 minute mark? Go on.
I said, oh, look at them. The tyres.
Oh, the tyres, yeah. They're not healthy, let's put it that way. I mean, his last lap was a 2:22. His previous were 19s and 20s, which is good race pace, I will say. The 22 is not bad, but if he loses another second or two on top of that, which he could well do, that lap time is not going to be particularly nice. But we are now at the halfway point of the race. Oh, Dave, you are making a move on. Hey.
Point to see what the guys are doing. Do you think SRI and Dave the Harp can go to the end from here?
No,
I think that's too much.
I think it's too much. 20 minutes. Okay, it's doable if you really look after the tyres, but even then, the last 4 minutes are awful. So I don't think Dave and SRI should even think about it. I think they should be looking at doing another stop. So it'd be a case of when. For SGP, actually we've got Art Pal and Jason here. Art Pal's pitted once, Jason I think twice, at least twice anyway.
Yeah, we don't know how many times Jason's pitted.
Okay, his tyres are pretty much new.
Yes.
I think he's pitted 3 times already. Maybe Jason.
Yes. Message him and see what. How many times did you get that?
He's having a look up the inside. I'm wondering if perhaps Jason's. Oh wow, Jimmy! If Jimmy doesn't get a penalty for that, I'd be amazed. SGP in the pits. Oh, I thought. Oh, bye, Jimmy.
2 corners in a row.
Yep.
Let's make it 3, Jason. Oh, not Jason, Jimmy. I heard tyres screeching. Where did Jimmy go?
Twilight. I think Jimmy ended up very, very sideways at the pit entry. Twilight ended up very, very sideways at the exit turn final corner. Yeah.
It'd be Jimmy not going sideways, you know?
Well, that's true. I wonder how his missus feels about that at night time.
Not Jimmy 5 bellies,
Jimmy sideways. Jimmy, why do you get out of bed sideways? Well, okay, so we're looking at Art Pal. Don't know what his tyres are like at the moment. Unfortunately, we seem to have lost the tyre telemetry. Maybe that's the technical guys. We're trying to work out how many times Jason has pitted. Any news for us, Ray? Anything you can think of? Oh, I've just seen something. Sorry. SGP has pitted, Steve F1 hasn't, but Demon R's closing in on Steve F1, is right behind him, going into P1 at the moment, just down there, as Art Pal and Jason still battling it out. Now for third.
Yeah. Who's that in front? Is that Dave the Hart?
On the pack cam, we've got Gary and then Dave the Hart behind him. And is that SGP? Yeah. Okay, so Demon R on the mate. Yes, see, Demon R. Oh, Dave the Hart, he's done that move, or a similar move on Gary. I think that's definite benefit of tyres as well. But it's a risky one, but it's a nice one. Demon R's all over Steve F1. Now, bear in mind, Steve F1 pitted some time ago. Demon R's not hanging about. He's going to try and go for it through. Blow Shimada's on the pack cam. Someone's wide, big time. Demon R gets through, and that pack cam car's in the barrier. I think it was Art Pal. It was Art Pal. He's behind Jason, and he's now being caught by all of these guys. Steve F1 peels into the pits.
Is this SRI head in this battle? Yeah. SRI's to get about. Oh, who's that way? Oh.
Twilight.
Oh, it's Twilight.
Yeah. I think Twilight's struggling around here, you know. So yeah, SRI on the pack cam with Dave the Art right behind him as Twilight into the pits. SGP still behind Gary. Dave has got ahead of Gary.
Looks like Dave's pushing. He's wiggling coming out the exit. And the corners is pushing. He's one past that Scotsman.
That he
but
is.
He's got a good run out of turn 1. And again, he's going to be too close coming up La Rouge.
It might be. SGP and Formula Gary side by side. Through Eau Rouge, little wobble. They both survive. Dave the Arp on the pack cam. He has got that good run. SGP does get ahead. Does Dave the Arp? Are we going to see it?
No, SRI's just got his nose in front. We know Dave the Harp's a late breaker. Does it go side by side again? Dave the Harp just needs to keep his front.
Oh, he got on that inside curb again, didn't he? Oh, a little touch. Yeah, but I mean, that inside left-hand curb is can be very evil. Oh, SGP trying to capitalise now. Coming round the outside, it goes past SRI. Wow. Oh, wow. They're saying that SRI's not done. Yes, SRI has done his second pit stop, hasn't he? Yeah, so SRI undercut SGP. SGP's just repassed him, but I think SRI's and Dave the Arp definitely got another pit stop to do. For SGP, I don't know. Could he do 18
Dave
minutes to the...
Armstrong.
Oh, bye, Dave.
He's managed to save it. How's he going to go into the next corners? Oh, SRI just gets ahead and then he's got Gary on the back of him.
I think that's a bit of a situation like saving nectar points. Yeah, he saved it, but now he's under pressure from Gary and Hay. He might have been better off just binning it. Oh no, Gary. I think Gary's got fairly fresh tyres now, you know, and Hay, because they've come back at Dave and SRI. So yeah, a lot going on here. I'm still trying to work out what people's strategies may be. Oh, Dave! Oh, he's got a little bit sideways, but he's got away with it. Jason into the pits. Every other lap, just about.
So you don't find out how many pits he done, update it in the next race.
Yeah, I mean, I did ask him like why he did his some of his pit stops, but I didn't get a reply. Steve F1 then having pitted, now trying to look at making a move on Hay and Formula Gary. Gary! Oh, so easy to do that on that curb on the exit. As that allowed Steve F1 through. No, the side by side. Hay helping Gary stay there with a Dono piss on his windscreen. God, Gary's all over the corner. That may. Oh, Dave! Oh, I think Dave's had a big wobble.
How the fuck did he not die?
Fuck. Jesus. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. I thought someone was shouting at me from behind me then. Oh, just as SGP had overtaken Arpal as well.
For Dave the Hart. You okay?
No, you bastard. No, I'm alright, just. So while Ray was doing that, SGP overtook Arpal as well. SGP now in second place. Demon R has quite a lead at the moment. I think it's about 14 seconds. Which is interesting because that would mean that when Demon R does his next pit stop, he would only be about 15 seconds behind SGP. As on the Pat Cam, Hay and Formula Gary battling it out.
Yep, and Steve F1 there, he's trying to get past SRI and is that Arpal in front, so...
It is. Do we think SGP and Steve F1 are going to try and go to the end?
How long's left?
12 minutes. Steve F1's tyres look fairly fresh. I think he might. But SGP pitted with about 18 minutes to go. Or 17 and a half minutes maybe. I don't know. Go on.
Steve F1's done the same move that Demon R did. Did the switchback on SRI while he was trying to take another car, as we see Jimmy.
Jimmy got very wide there. Demon R is in the pits for what I think will be his final pit stop. Will anybody else dive into the pits? Yes, Arpal and Hay, both in the pits. Don't forget as well, I think Dave the Harp and SRI still have another pit stop to do. Jason, he pitted last lap. He's just on to the main straight now as Gary trying to fend off Jimmy. Jimmy sideways. That should allow Dave the Harp through, but somehow Jimmy's managed to keep going quickly while he was sideways.
Yeah, well, Jimmy always does. Oh, I think that's going to be a penalty, Jimmy.
I think you might be right. He's definitely lifted off and backed out of it, but he may still receive a penalty for it. It's one of those things, if you're still flat on the throttle while you're off the track, you're pretty much guaranteed to get a penalty. Gary now trying to fend off Dave, but Gary goes deep, Dave goes deeper.
Yeah, I was about to say, Dave pretty much deep there. He was lucky that Jimmy never got back there.
Now,
we see Jason and Demon R, is that?
Yeah, Jason passed Demon R down the Camel Straight after Demon R had come out of the pit, so it could be interesting to see what Jason and Demon R do here, because the cars ahead of them have all got very worn tyres. Jason's looking at going for a move straight away on Jimmy. Demon R looking at doing the same as Dave the Arp, trying to battle on Gary. Gary's a little wide, but he's safe. But here comes Jason with the extra grip.
It's where does Jason put his car so he doesn't get out of place by Demon R. Oh, they're still fighting. A wee bit touchy, smoochy.
Yep. Well, it's definitely sort of danger zone as well because of what's just happened to Gary there. If there'd have been a car on the outside of Gary, they'd have been deep in the gravel. Demon R making a switch back on Dave the Arp. Jason's opened up a little bit of a gap. Dave's still there though, and Twilight coming back at them now. This is definitely starting to live up to the DGT mayhem. Ooh, I don't think we're finished yet either.
Yeah, no, we've still got another 9 minutes to go.
Well done. I was gonna. Oh, SRI in to the pits. Jason
again. And who else?
Oh wow, loads.
Jimmy. They've all went in the pits. That's not going to help SRI with the boost.
It's not going to help any. Well, it might help some of them with the boost, but yeah, SRI, if he was open to sort of pit, come out of the back, get loads of boost and catch up, it ain't going to work for him. Dave the Arp's carried on. He and SRI pitted at the same time previously, but Dave decided to maybe he wants to do a shorter final stint. Demon R's tyres though looking very fresh. SGP's don't look too bad actually, considering him. He's been on them for about 8 minutes already.
Yeah, 8 minutes. That's 4 laps. So
Yeah.
pretty good. Another 4 laps. Yeah, but another 4 laps time he's going to be struggling a wee bit.
Yep, Steve F1's
Got 8 laps to go. 8 laps, 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, Steve F1's tyres aren't quite as bad as SGP's, but you'd expect that. Or Demon R's got so much fresher. I'm going to say Steve F1's would be fresher than SGP's because he did pit a lap or two later, 2 laps later. Demon R pitted, I think, another 2 minutes, 2 or 3.
Dave the Harp needs another pit.
He does, yeah. I think he's going for that later stop, get more boost, and have a shorter stint where he doesn't have to worry about the tyres. Because for anyone who's pitted with 12, 13 minutes to go or less, there is still the risk that they could push the tyres too much and kill him. Jason's got fresh tyres again.
Yep, Jimmy pitted, Gary pitted, Twilight pitted.
Yeah,
So it's SGP, Steve F1, Demon R, Dave the Harp. Arpal and Hay, did they pit? Or did they pit in? They've not long pitted, have
I
they?
think they've not long pitted, so Arpal and Hay are in an interesting situation at the moment. You are right about SRI. He in 7th place. He'll be getting a decent amount of boost, but he won't be catching the sort of 6 seconds a lap he would have been wanting to. Arpal's tyres are fresh. Hay's on. Oh, can he hold it? You just SRI comes through. So SRI with his fresher tyres, I think now he's up to 6th. He'll get a bit less boost, but he's still in with a chance here. Oh, hey!
Where's Hay?
He's struggling. Yeah, he's struggling on those
Went to
tyres.
the hayfield. Oh, he's wobbling on the brakes there.
Yep, Dave the Arp into the pits, Hay into the pits as well. So a lot of pit stops going on here. I generally think those probably from drivers hurting the tyres more than the track hurting the tyres. As SRI having a look around the outside of Arpal and gets it done.
Would you want to, because of where the turn 1 is there, would you really want to go defensive and have that tight line, or would you just take the racing line and either hope for a switchback or go round the outside?
Well, to be honest,
then he's going to have the slipstream on a Gemmel straight.
personally, I wouldn't defend turn 1. He's bump drafting. Is he bump drafting and then going for it? No, not quite. Maybe he's thinking, right, we can catch up the cars ahead. Because I think the only way that SRI Arpal can catch the cars ahead is if they work together, because the gap between the cars ahead and SRI is rather large. And on the pack cam, it looks like the pack cam is looking at the leading 3. SGP a little bit ahead of Steve F1, with Demon R catching them rapidly. And then we've got this battle. SRI into Puon.
Yeah, SRI's opened a gap to Arpal. He's not sticking around.
He's not, is he?
He's buggered off.
Jimmy.
Wish I had a wee sound for that.
Jimmy closing in as well. Jason I think Jason needs to try and make a move if he can. If he doesn't, he's going to be getting attacked by Jimmy. Look at the track map, though. The leading three heading through Blanchimont now. They're getting closer and closer and closer together with 4.5 minutes to go. Jason, I think, may need to look at going for a move down into the final chicane, because I think he's got the tyres to be able to pull away. Yeah, he's already looking for it. Here we go.
Yeah, let's see how he's still side by side. Watch him on. Is it going to go? Oh, a wee bit of touch, but nothing there. Good work, guys. And here comes Jimmy.
Yeah, Jimmy having a look as well. Oh, Jimmy getting rid of his penalty, though.
He backs out of it. Oh, Jimmy's going for a switch. I think he's got the run.
I think he did
Yeah,
until he got sideways.
He has? No, he's still ahead of Jason.
Oh, he has. He's got ahead of Jason, hasn't he? Nice one.
Going for that, pal. He's going for that, pal.
And here comes Gary going for Jason as well. If Jason and Arpal thought they'd got it easy to the end, another thing coming. It's called Gary and Jimmy. So now Arpal's got a slipstream off Jimmy, but he's going to get slipstream from the two cars behind us. They're side by side, Gary and Jason. Oh, Gary with a little wobble. May have sent Jason across the off-track area. Quick look at the leaders. SGP, his tyres are not looking very nice, especially that rear left. Steve F1's looking a little bit better. Demon R's looking considerably better and still closing in on them, but not a lot long left in this race.
That's alright, is banking now.
Yeah, and he has opened up a gap, hasn't he, to this battle in 5th place, which is still going on. Arpal did get ahead. I guess that was on the pack cam. Dave the Harp's now closing in on them as Jason up the inside of Jimmy, and Gary retakes his place. Not his place, but their place. Oh, but Jimmy having a look up the inside into No Name. He's either done it. No.
But this battle's let SRI have some breathing space.
It has, and it's dropping these guys into the clutches of Dave the Harp. Gary all over the grass on the inside. Jason, is he going to go for it into Campus? He's having a look. Oh, not quite. Campus, also known as Fangya.
You got it?
Oh, he did, yes. I wasn't really looking. The Fangya chicane, Campus chicane. Stavalo, which is this corner, then Curveball Frere, which is the corner after. I tend to call him Stavalo 1 and 2. Oh, someone's wide. I think it was Jimmy. I think Jimmy was sideways. Wow, Jason's opened up a gap now. Could Jason be safe?
I don't know how much slipstream you guys are going to get behind them, but they're all fighting for that slipstream. Jason left, Jason right. I don't know how to say it in Swedish.
Usen left, Usen right. The leaders cross the line with less than 2 minutes to go.
Oh, Gary and Arpal knows he's touching on the braking then.
Yeah, so we're on to the final lap of the race now. SGP has a lead, but his tyres are dying. Steve F1 has got a gap over Demon R, but his tyres are also dying. Demon R's tyres are still looking fairly good, but has he got enough time to close in on either of the two cars ahead? We've got both cameras looking at the same action. Go on.
What he doesn't want to do is brake too late and mess up his corner, so what he wants to try and do is just use the grip that he's got within the corners.
Absolutely. I think Steve F1 may be dropping away from SGP at the moment. Perhaps Steve F1 thinking more about the car behind him than the car in front. As on the pack cam, it's still busy behind Jason. Demon are really closing in now. P1 could be a critical corner. We'll see the grip difference. Will we see the grip difference? Oh yeah, we will. Look, the gap is coming down. It's coming down, and it's coming down. Is he going to go defensive?
No, he's leaving the door wide open.
Well, it's interesting because a little bit like turn 1, do you want to overtake into turn 1? Do you want to overtake before the long back straight here, Ray? Steve's wide.
You can, but Demon has got the grip in the corner, so I think I don't know if he's going to be safe, but
he's going to have to watch out now.
We'll find out in a couple of seconds.
Yeah, Steve F1's still there. Has he got the grip in the tyres? On the pack cam, it's still busy. Demonor through Blanchimont. Steve F1 wide through Blanchimont. Will he get a penalty? Will he not? I don't think he's got a penalty. Can he get it stopped? SGP goes through the corner. Steve F1's gone deep, very deep. So SGP's going to take the win. Keep an eye on that back cam as well. Demonor second, Steve F1 third, SRI fourth. Jason, can he hold on to fifth? Can he hold on? Here comes Dave the Arp. Gary on the inside of Arpal takes the position into the final two corners from Arpal. And Jason, will he survive? Dave's really close, but not close enough. They managed to cross the line, nose to tail. Jimmy got across the line sideways. Oh, I'm disappointed, Jimmy. And then we've got Twilight just behind Hay. Oh, what's this? It's our race winner. Shocking.
Whose horse is that?
Whose horse is that? Oh, dear. Oh, what a race. I'm sweating. I'm sweaty.
That was a fantastic race.
Yeah.
That's wee
Dumb bits.
don't want to say dull bit because it sounds bad. I think it's wee calm. Calm before the storm.
Yeah. Well, it was those early pit stops that just... clearly, SGP's won the race, so clearly it must have been a strategy move. And it's worked for him. But SGP pitting when he did with SRI, and Steve F1 pitting a lap after, that just opened up the front part of the grid. And then by the time those guys had caught up the pack then pitted, which then opened it up again. So normally the first half of the race is like it gets spread a little, people pit, then it gets punched up. But yeah, so some very periods of calm, but some brilliant racing in there as well. Because something, we mentioned about when Gary, Jason, Arpal and Dave the Arp and SRI were battling, and I mentioned about when Gary went deep at Stavolo, if there'd have been a car on the outside of him, he'd have took him with him. It wasn't that I was picking on Gary or anything, it's sort of a point that I've been wanting to sort of make throughout the race, that given the nature of this track, when you go side by side with people, if you've got fresh tyres and the other guy's got worn tyres, you have to be aware that the other guy may have a wobble that they can't do anything about. And that wobble could end up putting you in a wall.
Yeah.
Oh, but what a race. Okay, got a question for you, Ray.
Yeah.
If a blackbird has black babies and a bluebird has blue babies, what bird has no babies?
Nothing.
Swallow.
Actually, that's good. I'll give you that one.
One genuine good one a year's good enough for me. Okay, I need to do a little bit of housekeeping. So, folks, apologies that over the course of this championship, the videos have been going out at different times. It's been a very busy period at this time for me personally. In the next race video is going to be delayed as well, as I'm away for the weekend, so bear in mind for that. But also I've been late getting the G spots done and stuff like that. Hopefully by the time this race video is streamed, the G spot will be up to date, so hopefully we'll get that sorted. But also there is the big announcement of the next championship car, which, we're recording this on Friday night. My intention is to finish producing that tonight so that it can either be announced before this video is put out or fairly soon after. So information of that. Go on.
We'll put it out instead of the G spot.
Yeah, we could do. Yeah, we could save it. Till Wednesday and put it out then. So apologies for being a bit late on getting stuff sorted, but hopefully we'll get things back on track.
Yeah, I think it's all within reason. Like admins have been busy with
Battlefield.
in real life stuff, so
Well, that's exactly.
daily lives have been busier, and then just
Not that it takes its toll.
Yeah.
Life happens.
it's not to get its toll on us. It's just the timing of trying to get things done is changing, and when that changes, it's because we have already got that set routine. But once one part of it changes,
It affects it all.
it's a rolling, whatever you call it. I don't fucking know.
Exactly. But I know what you mean. Yeah, so it's like next week. I mean, obviously, I could choose not to go away next week. Go on.
Knock-on effect.
Knock-on effect, yeah. Yeah, so next week I could choose to not go away, but why should I? There's no reason why I can't go away. I mean, to be honest, it's not often that I would go away or do something during a championship, but sometimes situations occur where you go, okay, well, yeah, I'm doing that at that weekend, and that's what I'm doing. And like you said, the knock-on effects of that is, when does the footage get recorded, edited, when does commentary get done?
I like how you make it sound out as if you're going out to get pissed and get a bird.
Oh,
You're going out to go to a hotel so you can babysit your mum and dad a few blocks away.
Don't tell them that. To be fair, the parents don't know that that's what we're doing.
Oh shit, your mum's
yeah.
my number one fan.
It's
You
alright,
fuck
she'll forget. But no, I mean, to be fair, yeah, they don't know that that's what we're doing, but they're under the impression that John is taking them away, dropping them off, and then coming back for them in 4 days. But in reality, he's taking them, dropping them off, meeting me, or I'll be meeting him like 20 minutes away from where they're staying, and we'll be having our own little sort of 4-day break. And then if there's an emergency, instead of us being 3 hours away, we're half an hour away. So that's basically it. But yeah, but the folks don't know.
Smart plan.
Yeah, you can tell it weren't my fucking idea.
Yeah. Yeah, Glennis, they're not doing anything, it's alright.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You can't use our hot tub. So yeah, right. A couple of things I do want to mention. Obviously, we had a few drivers unable to race today. So what I want to mention is just re-emphasise what our ruling is on driver numbers on a race day, because a couple of people seem to have forgotten because we weren't asked. If we know by the end of Wednesday night that we would have less than 10 drivers for the race on a Thursday, then we would postpone the race to the following week. However, if by the end of Wednesday night we are not aware that we would have less than 10 drivers, then the race would go ahead regardless, because we go into Thursday thinking we're having 16 drivers. If then, like with this race, 3 or 4 on the day aren't able to make it for whatever reason, if that then puts us below 10, it doesn't matter, the race is going ahead. And basically we do that so that we would be able to message the drivers on a Wednesday night or a Thursday morning, letting them know race is abandoned, and if you want to go do it somewhere else you can. So we'd be able to let them know very, very early, rather than it be turn up on at race time not knowing if you're racing or not. Okay.
That depends on the drivers
informing us.
Informing us.
If they know beforehand. Yeah.
Brain just went blank, yeah, if they know and whatnot. And yeah, sometimes drivers might not like to message and say, look, I'm not going to make it, in case they think it's going to postpone it for the other drivers, and the other drivers are going to get pissed off. Nah, just if you know you're not going to make it, just let us know. If it gets postponed, it gets postponed.
Absolutely.
But we still have a Mason racing, don't we?
That we're bloody ding dang do. And talking about the racing,
we need to figure out something new to do so that the F1 can copy us again.
Well, yeah. Well, I think the next championship. Well, you know what it'll be. they'll start doing dirty championships where you can cut a corner. That's what it'll be. I mean, actually, you might not have heard last night. Apparently, Colton Herta put out a tweet last night. Brad Pitt, because of the
he's going to F1
he's going
driver for a film thingy.
Yep.
At Silverstone.
Yep. And Colton Herta tweeted, so Brad Pitt can get a super license before I can. That's harsh. And if you don't know who Colton Herta is, he's a bloody amazing IndyCar driver who wants to race in F1, but he hasn't got the super license points, even though I think he nearly won the Indy 500 and has won many IndyCar races. Right, I think we need to mention about the next track, Ray.
It's Toko track with the fuzz.
Did you remember? If you remembered, that means you have not had enough beer. You clearly need more alcohol. That's why your brain's not working. It's not been alcoholized.
I've been switching. I've had like a couple of nights with my 4 pints, and then I've been drinking Beck's Blue alcohol free.
Oh, fair enough.
You know, try to look after my liver a wee. Well, look after my body a wee bit.
Well, fair enough. Good luck.
But tonight I've had how many? Only one and a half of the small cans I tenant, so
That's
yeah,
not too bad.
not enough beer.
No, definitely. But you are right that it is Tokyo with the fuzz. For anyone who doesn't know what the fuzz is, it's a no overtaking zone. By a certain point, whichever car is ahead, they have the corner. You back out and you let them through. And it's because said corner is so dangerous that we don't want people trying to go side by side there, because it will end up in crashes and just us spending so much time stewarding. So it's a fuzz. So remember that, folks.
Yeah, see, smart ass me. Not smart ass, more like my brain was working.
Definitely not smart ass when we did the 3 laps that you overtook in the fuzz.
No comment.
Okay, so race 7 is the next race coming up from Tokyo with the fuzz, and then the last few races are definitely going to be interesting as well. And I think given today's result, it could definitely mix things up a little bit in those championship standings, and I don't just mean up at the top. I do mean throughout the field. So I think it's only right that we go and have a look, Ray, at the confirmed race result and the championship standings.
Yep. And away we go.
Yep. Thanks for joining us on commentary.
No worries, thanks for having me. It's always a blast, you know.
Absolutely. Don't press one. Right, so folks, we'll get on to the confirmed race result and the championship standings. Confirmation then, SGP with a victory, the maximum 20 points, ahead of Demon R in second place, Steve F1 in third, SRI in fourth, Jason fifth, David Harp in sixth, formerly Gary Steele in seventh in the last couple of corners, Art Pal in eighth, Jimmy in ninth, Hay in 10th, and Twilight, unfortunately, down at the back in 11th place. There's definitely been an action-packed race at Spa with a few quiet moments, a bit of peace and tranquility up in the hills. Let's have a look though what that has done to the standings. Demon R now leading the way by 1 point. So yeah, 103 for him, 102 for Steve F1 with 3 races to go. SGP in third place on 84 points. Twilight just holding on by the skin of his ball bag. In fourth place, 63 points. Jason now in fifth on 60 points. Connor drops to sixth on 57 points. Artpal and SRI now tied on 52 points in seventh place, although Artpal's not going to be able to make the next couple of races. Dave the Harp in 9th place on 51 points. We're only one behind those two ahead of him. Formula Gary, a bit of a gap down to him in 10th place on 43 points, and then a bit more of a gap to Hay in 11th, who is 2 ahead of Bob. So Hay has jumped up to 11th, Bob down to 12th, and on 26 points, Rich Blues in 13th on 23, and Jimmy in 14th on 17 points. Okay, as I mentioned, there's 3 more races to go, and anything could happen in those last 3 races. Should quickly mention as well that next week's race video, there's a good chance it may not come out until the Tuesday or Wednesday, so a good 4 or 5 days after the actual race day, so just be aware of that one, folks. Unfortunately, I am away for the weekend. Okay, thank you very much for listening, watching. Have a good one, everybody. You know what to do. Like, subscribe, hit that notifications bell, and we'll see you all again soon.